Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the conference. It's good to be here again. I was here 12 months ago outlining our strategy. We were changing from being a palladium-focused company to a West Australian-focused gold company. In the last 12 months, we've been working on completing a number of studies to make our projects drill ready, and also going through the permitting process, seeking approvals to start drilling. And thankfully, we now have one project that's completely drill ready and fully permitted, and another that's very close to being completed as well. So the second half of this year should be very exciting from our perspective. So Platina is a 30 million market cap company. We've got two 100% owned gold projects in Western Australia, and we also have a third tenement application at Mount Narra. We're hoping that will get granted sometime in the next few months, and it's in a real hotspot area, sharing the same rocks as the Julmar discovery. So really looking forward to being able to get on the ground there. We also own one of the world's highest grade, largest Scandium deposits. It's got a completed definitive feasibility study on it, and we're actively working to deliver a strategy to unlock the value of that project. As I mentioned, we've sort of been going through a little bit of a change of strategy, and as part of that, we've divested some of our assets and turned them into share investments with a number of different companies around the world. I guess the most significant of those is we sold our Greenland Palladium project to Major Precious Metals. We took $3.25 million in cash on that transaction, and we still currently own about 20% of that company. It just recently completed or announced the results of an 8,500 metre drilling program, and they'll be looking to do a significant resource upgrade there. It's about 10 million. Currently, it's about 10 million ounces palladium equivalent, and it's one of the largest palladium deposits outside of Russia and South Africa. So it'll be interesting to see how big they can make that system once they complete that resource upgrade, and hopefully that'll deliver some upside in the stock price of that company. We also just recently sold a 30% interest in our Money project to AIM-listed UFO, and we're sitting on about $1.8 million worth of their shares. There is some escrow on that, but the first tranche of that should come out in the next few weeks. And we've got a number of other small positions in companies that we believe have significant geological upside. So our business model is pretty simple. We're going to be drilling holes, looking for exploration upside, and looking to fund those exploration programs by divesting our share investments so that we minimise share dilution to existing shareholders and keep our capital structure very tight. We've only got 434 million shares in issue. And we've got a $16 million investment in our Scandium Project, and I'm very determined to find a way to unlock that value to the benefit of our shareholders. So our focus is now on Western Australian gold. We've got the two projects in the Yilgarn Craton, and I think everyone's pretty familiar that that's one of the best gold geological provinces on the planet. And probably lesser known is the Ashburton. The Ashburton Basin is nestled between the Yilgarn and the Pilbara Craton, which is obviously more recently famous for the Hemi discovery. Now 10 million ounces of gold there. But there's a 400-kilometre fault zone that runs through the Ashburton Basin. It has the now depleted but historically very high-grade Paulson deposit in the northwest. It has Karlawinda development project in the southeast, and Mount Olympus, which is a 2 million ounce endowment. It's 1.65 million ounces in resource now, and there's previously been 350,000 ounces of gold mined there. And we're sitting about 7 kilometres away from that Mount Olympus deposit. I recently hired a new exploration manager for Platina, Rowan Deshpan. He's got over 15 years experience, nearly all predominantly in Western Australia. In the last 4 years, he was part of the discovery team at De Grey for the Hemi project. And when he left De Grey, he was operating 14 drill rigs, which has obviously delivered them this significant resource over the last 4 years. So he's got all the right credentials to come and do the drilling programs that we need to deliver value from our projects. And I really believe that Rowan and I make a very complementary team in terms of our experience and expertise. I'm going to be looking to try and replicate the success that I had when I was the CEO of Sayona Mining. I identified the ortholithium project in Quebec, raised $60 million for Sayona over a 3-year period, and we drilled that. We did more than 16,000 metres of drilling there, took that through the feasibility study to DFS, and Sayona Mining is now capped at over $1 billion. So our 2 projects in Western Australia, Xanadu, it's 38 kilometres south of Paraburdoo. We can get very easy access into the site through the Rio Tinto iron ore haul roads. There's 7 or 8 flights a day from Perth to Paraburdoo, so logistically this is a very simple project from an access point of view. We've got a significant package of tenements here. It's 560 square kilometres. Our effort at the moment is concentrated on a 10-kilometre zone in the northwest sector of that package. There's a splay or a fault zone that runs off that major fault zone in the Ashburton Basin, and which is host to that sort of 2 million ounce endowment Mount Olympus project. So Xanadu's been the subject of a lot of historical exploration work. There's been quite a lot of drilling there. The real focus here has been the development of or drilling out of shallow oxide resources. It's quite deeply weathered here, so these oxide resources run down to about 80 metres, but there's been a small mining operation developed there at the amphitheatre pit. There was a small heap leach developed, and you can see the photo of those heap leach pads and ore stockpiles. We understand that they were running about 1.8 grams gold, so pretty attractive gold. But I've also just outlined some of the attractive high-grade intersections that have previously been drilled out here. And there's also a number of significant length intersections at lower grade. So there's a huge amount of gold in this 10-kilometre system. So we believe it's very attractive. It just needs a systematic approach to tie it all together as an ore body and then ultimately a resource, and you obviously have to do that through the drill bit. We think it's a really attractive target. So we've got this regional fault zone, we've got 2 million ounces nearby, we've got widespread economic width and grade intersections through the deposit. We've got favourable rocks and very little deeper drilling into the system. So what we're going to be doing is we're trying to find the source of all of this gold mineralisation that we're seeing near surface, and we hope that there's a much deeper, higher grade system at depth. So we've got sort of 2 targets here. We've got the shallow oxide, and then we've also got the deeper mineralisation. And what we've been doing is compiling all of the geochemistry work on surface, and we also did a fairly significant IP geophysics program, and that identified some potential sulfide targets at depth, and our plan is to come back through here and start drilling. We've essentially got most of our permits in place. We're just waiting for a final Indigenous clearance, and then we'll be looking to put about 3,000 metres of RC in as a first stage drilling program. And then this is just the first 10-kilometre section of this property. We've got another 25 kilometres of strike that we can go and chase. So looking forward to getting that drill program going, hopefully next quarter. Our second project is Challa. We've got 2 tenements here. It's nearly 300 square kilometres. It's nestled between Mount Magnet, Youanmi and Sandstone. It's a prolific gold-producing district. The most amazing thing here is that none of these tenements have ever been drilled. And that's because of a shallow cover across most of the tenement package that we have. And you need to find a technique to look through that shallow cover to depth and find gold anomalies that you can go and drill. So we've been doing soil sampling. We've done nearly 4,000 samples across the tenements. It's not an unusual way to go and find gold deposits. Jundee, Bronzewing, Tropicana, they're all Julma, they're all sorts of the similar styles of exploration strategies for finding these types of deposits. So we've got a number of targets here that we want to come through and drill, and we have all the permits in place to start drilling. We weren't meant to start drilling this week, but there's been an unusually heavy amount of rain in the district, so we're just waiting for that to clear and then we'll start drilling. The two target areas here, Challa West. Challa West has a major fault structure running through it. It's a host of a number of multi-million ounce deposits to the north. There's favourable greenstone rocks, and we're seeing some hydrothermal alteration in the rocks through the magnetics there, which we believe is the source of the, hopefully, the gold fluids coming up into the rocks there. And we'll obviously have to get a drill bit into that and confirm that theory. And then I'll just, on our northern tenement there at Challa, the Elsie gold mine was a very high-grade gold mine. It just sits off the edge of our tenement package. There's a large number of gold occurrences off that edge of that tenement. There's a little bit of outcropping rock in our tenement where we've had rock chips up to nearly 7 grams, and so we believe this is a really attractive tenement and looking forward to getting that drilling going shortly. Mount Nara is an application covering 165 square kilometres. It traverses the Darling Fault in the western Yilgarn, which is probably more famous now for the Julma nickel PGE discovery. We believe that we have the right structure and the right rocks to host that style of deposit. So as soon as it's granted, we're looking forward to getting on the ground and starting some work there. And there's certainly a lot of corporate interest in this area as well. Our Platina Scandium Project, as I mentioned, we've invested $16 million in this project historically. It has a completed DFS, and it's been a really interesting time in the last 12 months in the scandium industry. Our development's really been constrained by the size of the scandium market, but Rio Tinto and Rusal have made moves to start producing scandium, and I think that's really going to change the scandium market and the opportunity for a world-class pure play project like this. So we've started a little work program there to looking at diversifying the product streams from that. Our DFS is based on producing scandium oxide. Our customers want to be able to buy master alloy, so we've been doing some test work at Swinburne, having great success achieving that objective. And we've also started the permitting process so that we can get a mining licence in place. And I'd just like to highlight the value of the Scandium project. Platina's got a $13.5 million market cap. There's two other pure play scandium projects in the world. Imperial capped at 15, Scandium International at 34. We're sitting on the world's best project, and within that 13.5 million market cap, we have our 3 projects in WA, a portfolio of investments in cash. So I believe on that basis that we're significantly undervalued. And just wrapping up, very busy second half for us, delivering our drill programs, hopefully getting Mount Nara granted and getting on the ground to move that forward. We're actively looking at new project opportunities, and I guess the big one that I'm really keen on doing is unlocking the value of our Scandium project and funding all that through the sale of our investments so that we keep our share capital very tight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Corey. Corey Nolan, Platina Resources. We are